That was less terrible than it could have been. We put the pieces of the case that were floating all over the algae sea back together. It's just an empty box even after being put together, but we've finally figured out what the lost pearl should look like. What are you trying to say, Caterpillar? Wait, don't give Paimon any hints. She's gonna figure this out on her own. Oh god, we could be here a while. We pieced together a good guess from the clues, but the truth is still unproven. Of course, my speech analysis module has determined that Miss Paimon is correct. Actually, I meant that we may never know the truth, but I'm afraid we have no choice but to accept this conjecture. So, Night Storm, is this the secret of my birth? I'm afraid I can't accept something like this right away. I understand, Miss Anne. It's a shocking fact, and it'll require you to accept yourself again. But I don't think it should be that difficult to do so. After all, knowing your past does not require abandoning everything about the present. I do not understand the specific context of this discussion, but I would like to add that I do not believe I am different from how I was before suffering disc damage. Even though you insist on addressing me as a silly dog, my identification number is still 4ACV07. It depends on what it is. If it's art, I've already commissioned someone for art. I'm just waiting on it. Come on, it's not that serious. I promised Night Storm that I would accept this conclusion as long as it's reasonable. Then I have a suggestion. One that will resolve Miss Anne's quandary and put a stop to Narzitzenkroi's plans. Narzitzenkroi. Oh, Paimon remembers now. You mentioned him before, Caterpillar. Just who is he, huh? Well, simply put, the leader of the Narzitzenkroi Ordo. Whoa. Sounds like he's got an impressive resume. But isn't the Narzitzenkroi Ordo always up to no good? Wouldn't that make him the nastiest of the lots? Of course. During my time with my master, creator, and the other Marechaussee hunters, we devoted most of our time to hunting the Ordo down. As I said before, the goal of the Linus operation was to capture or eliminate Narzitzenkroi as well. However, my memory does not contain any intelligence regarding his involvement. That's a given. Looking back at it now, he was merely using us as baits. And I wasn't the only one. It was the same for Jacob Lyris and many others in the Ordo. I'm afraid the Linus operation was probably never more than a red herring, with the goal of leading you and Guillotine away to buy him more time to execute his true plans. Remember the doomsday clock I mentioned? It's what the Ordo considers the countdown to the apocalypse, right? To be more precise, it's the apocalypse as calculated by the world formula. This planet itself should survive just fine, though. The beast of the stars shall drink the amniotic fluid of the world dry. 100 years more, and all surface life shall be wiped away. What is this quest line? Fontaine is wild. Once life on the surface is wiped out, only that which is underwater will remain. Can a planet full of fish eventually rise up to the ocean of stars? The thought of all terrestrial life going extinct is pretty spooky, but when you say things like that, it does give things a romantic ring. It's the heading of a Yai publishing house novel from a few years back. My mare brought it back to the village to learn how to paint. From a Yai publishing house book? Interesting. Oh, no wonder. Anyways, for myself and the others gathered here, Though the Narzitzen-Croix Ordo is the source of all of our troubles, its objective and Narzitzen-Croix's great purpose are actually completely selfless. He only took the actions he did because he calculated the coming of the apocalypse. He wishes to save the world. So, is the world really on the verge of destruction? I believe this to be a pathological delusion caused by paranoia. I like Seymour. Were the apocalypse real? Would you be able to forgive Narzitzen-Croix? No. It's a bit too early to consider such things. You have yet to understand what happened to you, Anne. And as for you, Seymour, your hostility is a result of your programming and the duties it imposes. I suppose we must find the Holy Blade of Narzitzen-Croix. The what now? I'm talking about the real one, of course. As much as it may be quite strange to say that the ceremonial sword of a magic society is real. Not only will it help us stop Narzitzen-Croix's plans, but its unique powers may be able to undo the merging of wills. We should be able to separate Lyris and Mary Ann, and then, Miss Anne, you can defeat the evil dragon, Narcissus, and rescue Princess Lyris. Regardless, let's get moving first. That's the spirit. It might take some time to explain, so let's move out first, and I'll explain when we get there. Okay, we're moving on, I guess. Where am I going? Go to Caterpillar's location? Okay. Over here. Teleport me. Oh, we're going to the tower. Okay. Atmospheric visibility is acceptable today, enough that you can see the tower over there, yes? I passed it by earlier, actually. Yeah, I already looted the place. That building was once known to the Narzitzen-Croix Ordo as the Tower of Ipsissimus. That's a word. But we would later call it the Tower of Gestalt. It was named for the idea that things that have been separated need to be combined to display their original complete form. Okay. But I suppose I might be speaking in reverse. The heart was complete to begin with, and the mistake was to divide it up for separate study. Paimon didn't get a thing you said. I'm with Paimon on this one. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Plays-on words are also a trick that mysterious organizations enjoy pulling. What matters is what we must do next. Some of the vocabulary you used is missing from my semantic indexes, so I could not properly parse your meaning. But I understand the last sentence. Please tell me what I should do. Well, that crystal fly in the background is taunting me. While investigating alone, I found a map of the seal of chemical marriage. Yep, you could say that I've found 4 seals. Okay, I can do it. And this tower is one of the locations? That's not the place we need to go. That said, though, who can be sure? Perhaps our destinies will yet take us there in the future. Either way, we need to use the position of the tower to locate the other 4 places. That's why we've come here first. So, what are those 4 seals for? Or are these the paintings that were under the water that you could go through? And you had to connect water to some central pillar thing. I've done a couple of those. I didn't realize it was for this. Whoops. So what are those 4 seals for? That said, we've discovered from experience that it's usually best practice to just break the seals and give whatever ringleader we find a good walloping. Paimon is not wrong. Violence is, in fact, the answer, in most cases. As for me, I'd like to restore the Holy Blade of Narzitzen-Croix. Sick, a new weapon? That's more of a ceremonial use. No, I want an actual weapon. I was promised a real weapon. I managed to make a pipe I got from a fisherman into a weapon. I can make this ceremonial blade into a weapon. That's how this works. Well, I suppose we could also just call it the answer. I also made an umbrella into a weapon. It's currently on my Kuki Shinobu. It's hilarious. As I've said before, the Narzitzen-Croix Ordo once had a ceremony to remove the ego and will. The Holy Blade was used in that ritual. I remember something about that. If Lyris and Marianne's wills created Anne, and if the old me was placed in some Hilichurl's body... Ah! Wait a minute. Didn't we already find the Holy Blade of Narzitzen-Croix? What, really? Look! A wooden sword. It's the wooden sword we found during our adventures. Yes, so it is. What kind of reaction is that? Perhaps you can think of it like this. That's a wooden sword found at the Narzitzen-Croix Institute named the Holy Blade of Narzitzen-Croix. That makes it more important than any ordinary wooden sword. Perhaps it might be of use when the time is right, just like the Holy Blade in the story. Really? You don't need to try and make us feel better. I don't remember getting this sword at all. Got it, let's go. There are 4 seals in total. If my hypothesis is correct, then they should be at these locations respectively. Huh? These 4 locations? We've been to some of them before, during our adventures. I see. And did you find anything there? You described your adventure there. I see. This proves 2 things. Firstly, my hypothesis is accurate. And the other? Secondly, the situation is grim. We need to get moving and see if we still have a chance to turn things around. We're in Act 1. This was the intro to Act 1. I'm dying. Okay. So we only need 1 more, I think? Maybe? We might only have 1 more thing to find. If so, that's, like, ideal. But we will look at that later. Why is my phone being dumb? Sorry, my phone is being dumb. Okay, Cupid's lover. Kind of unfortunate that I've already done some of these. But oh well. I feel like I already did this one too. I just didn't... Crystal fly. I just didn't pick up the item I was supposed to. I had a feeling I'd not picked up everything. Oh, there are doggos. Hi.
Stabilize.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
Settle down.
Oh, they died. Okay. So I just didn't pick this up. Otherwise, we would have been done this one too. That's kind of hilarious. Gimme. Gimme. No! Okay. You carefully inspect the top of the mechanism, but you don't find anything. Did someone take whatever was here too? Looks that way. But who is it? It's Jacob. We had an altercation with him inside a lioness once. Clarification, recently, not once. When I saw that unfortunate victim at the gates, I knew it was his handiwork. It seems he's still active after all. This must be the location where we found the passed out guy. Man, I should have started this quest before I explored this area. Oh well. Then what does he want with the stuff he took from here? Simple, he too wants to reforge the Holy Blade of Narzitzenskroi. The dream of the Ordo remains unrealized. Anyway, we should make our way to the final area now.